Bad Larry.
What's up, Bad Larry Kingdom? This is your host, Bad Larry. Today I'm bringing you issue number 5 of X Factor. Today we're seeing X Factor versus the Alliance of Evil. And most importantly, this is the most important issue probably of this X Factor series. We're introducing one of the most special created mutants of all time. Make sure you stay to the end to find out who this new mutant is that is being introduced in this issue. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone this issue came out in 1986. This was the height of the cocaine era in the 80s, as well as the height of the war on drugs. So this issue is a bit of an anti-drug PSA issue. The subject of our story revolves around Michael Nolan. He's a mutant and he's a junkie. Old Michael Nolan has been kept as a prisoner behind these walls by the Alliance of Evil, and somehow he's been able to make a grand escape. He's bouncing. In the first panel, we're seeing the 4 members who encompass the Alliance of Evil: Time Shadow, Stinger, the Tower, and Frenzy. See, these mutants are also somewhat of junkies themselves, not on traditional drugs, but they're addicted to the mutant power that Michael Knowles possesses. So this is why we see Time Shadow having to restrain Stinger, and she's looking all junked out in that third panel. But the Tower and Frenzy know kind of where to find Michael Knowles. So Michael Knowles only has a matter of time before the Alliance of Evil tracks him down. What did I say in the last episode? I said every time we see Angel, this dude has got no shirt and no pants on. But going back to the anti-drug, war on drugs theme, what we're seeing is the dichotomy of the evil mutants who seem to be junkies, and now we're seeing our heroes who are all physically fit and working on their fitness. So this is a real pop culture propaganda to tell the youth, hey, if you want to be heroes, if you want to do well, you got to stay off drugs, you got to work out. And FYI, for all you non-weightlifters out there, Cyclops is repping out 3 plates on each side. That's 315 pounds. Cyclops has got the beastly optic blast, but he's also no joke in the strength department. What was Jackson Guise thinking, drawing Jean Grey in that second panel looking like Bruce Jenner? That's a man, baby. What I love is the relationship between Beast and Iceman. It is simpatico to the relationship the Thing and the Human Torch have in the Fantastic Four. They're kind of best friends, but they're also always constantly going at each other. I love this banter. Some more shenanigans in the gym. It looks like Beast posts Iceman's ass up on the rafter. I find it funny no one wants to pull shenanigans on Cyclops. In the bottom left panel, Cyclops is thinking to himself how similar everything feels back when they were X-Men under the tutelage of Professor X when they were teenagers, but he knows that things aren't the same. In the bottom right panel, we're seeing the fingers of Michael Knowles making a call. Hey, when you're a junkie and you need that junk, who you going to call? You're going to try to call your dealer. So Michael Knowles is calling this blonde woman, this is his ex-wife, saying, I need that junk, you better give it to me. And she's saying, hey, I clean up my life, you piss off. But she knows that he's a mutant. She knows that he's a junkie. She knows that he knows where she lives. So she sees a commercial for X Factor. She gives him a call. She needs help with her Michael Knowles problem. And to keep things not so serious, we transition over to the mall. It looks like Beast's ex-girlfriend has drugged Beast and Iceman to the mall to get Hank McCoy, the Beast, some new cool thread. Now we know that Vera has turned to the whole life, so it's obvious that she wants to dress Hank McCoy up as her pimp. Bobby and Hank get a message saying they got a case, they got to go. And like a pimp, Hank McCoy makes Vera pay for them clothes. And in the bottom 2 panels, we're seeing Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops, being an exceptional leader, able to train both Bubblegum Head Arthur and Rusty at the same time. Cyclops calls off the training, and Rusty is asking Arthur why Cyclops is so serious. And Arthur is able to show Rusty a little bit of Cyclops' personal business. Rude. And then we see Jean Grey pop in, having a conversation with Angel. She's starting to take classes at Columbia for psychology, which I find so interesting considering that she doesn't have her telepathic abilities anymore, so she's still interested in getting into people's heads, but now she's trying to do it the traditional way. Cameron Hodge is informing the X Factor team of the mission, that they're going after Michael Knowles and that he's a junkie. And in the bottom two panels, we're seeing Michael Knowles' ex-wife packing. She knows she's got to bounce. She got that call, and she knows that Michael is on his way to see her, even though she told him to piss off. So she knows she's got to get the heck out of Dodge. Even though we see the Beast trying to dress up like a pimp, the real pimp is Frenzy. With her pimp hand, backhand is strong. The Alliance of Evil is snatching your people up. They know if they can grab this gal, that they can use her as leverage against Michael Knowles. X Factor take Angel's sweet-ass red jet, and they've tracked down Michael Knowles to some junky motel. And because they're pretending to be humans, they can't just blast the door down, so Cyclops asks Jean Grey if she can telekinetically pick the lock. And she tells Cyclops, done and done, and stop looking at these buns. Hey kids, don't do drugs. This bottom left panel is the epitome of the propaganda to tell everybody you don't want to be Michael Knowles face down in some crap-ass motel looking with a syringe by your side, looking like you're almost dead. FYI, he's not dead. X Factor get him to kind of a stable state, and as Michael Knowles is waking up, he recognizes X Factor. He knows that they're mutant hunters, and he's totally freaking out. And if you're a junkie, and if you have no training, and if you're like Rusty and you're feeling threatened, and you're a mutant, you just let your powers go wild. And Michael Knowles' mutant ability is that he is able to, like a steroid, enhance other mutants' abilities. So this is what we see in this middle panel where Cyclops is blasting his beam and Iceman is turning super frozen and Jean Grey's telekinesis is going out of control. So like a steroid, Michael Knowles is able to enhance other mutants' abilities. And this is the sole purpose of why the Alliance of Evil want Michael Knowles. They're addicted to his power. They're addicted to feeling superior in their mutant abilities. And Cyclops is telling Michael Knowles, hey, take it easy, take it easy. We're not going to hurt you. We're really mutants. We're here to help you. And then Michael Knowles is telling his story about how he was a junkie addicted to drugs, and his mutant ability didn't show itself until he was much older as an adult, because his mutant gene was suppressed so much by the drugs that until he got clean, that's when his mutant ability appeared. And when he touched Time Shadow, that's when he also enabled Time Shadow's power to appear. And to sync everything up in the anti-drug narrative, this first panel we're seeing Michael Knowles talk about how once his power developed, the word on the street is that his power could enhance other mutants' power. So he became a bit of a mutant dealer junkie himself, and then he found that the only way to make himself useless to these other mutants was to always be high. His powers don't work when he's under the influence of drugs. So his mutant ability, he felt like the only way to suppress it was to be on drugs. So this guy's kind of in a bind of his own. And Jean Grey, in her normal attitude, is always, we can help you, we can train you. And Michael in the bottom left panel is like, no, just leave me alone. And he calls the Beast an ape man, which it seems like everyone is calling Beast ape man. And Beast's like, chill out, bro. We are going to help you. This intimate moment is broken up by the tower's best Kool-Aid impression. Ba-boom! The Alliance of Evil is broken in, and they're threatening Michael Knowles that if he doesn't come with them, they're going to kill the girl. Frenzy's like, I'll snap this bitch's neck. And then Cyclops like, it's a bluff. Don't fall for it. Cyclops tells Michael, we could take these fools. But the tower's like, You better power us up or I'm breaking this chick's neck. The battle is on. And for some reason, the Beast keeps thinking he could take on Frenzy by himself. But she shows him that she's a real lady. She can get her own door and smack it in his face. I'll be honest, the X Factor is not operating their mechanics as a team very well. The Beast is down. Angel is trying to go after Frenzy. He gets knocked in the back by the tower. The tower goes after Iceman. Frenzy zaps his ass. So now Angel is down. Iceman is down. Beast is down. And Michael Knowles is seeing the Alliance of Evil take out 3 of the X Factor mutants. He's like, y'all couldn't take them. I told y'all, I'm out of here. And now we're down to just Marvel Girl and Cyclops against the Alliance of Evil. And because Jean Grey doesn't have her telepathic abilities, she can't just shut off any minds. So now she's having to use her telekinesis against the Time Shadow. There's too many of him. He gives her the pimp hand, knocks her ass out. And Cyclops is like, oh, hell no! You ain't about to just knock out Marvel Girl like that in front of me. I don't care if I'm the last one standing. I'll take on all 5 of y'all asses. I'm Cyclops. I'll roll through your legs. I'll blast your ass. He's telling Tower, don't you remember when I blasted your ass before? You better put some respect on my name. But alas, Cyclops cannot overcome the pimp hand of Frenzy. She shows that she's the real pimp of this episode, knocking fools out left and right with her pimp hand. I'll be honest, this was tough to watch. Our X Factor team, our favorite heroes, taking a massive, massive L, all knocked out, all unconscious, to a bunch of unorganized, junky mutants. And Michael Knowles has no choice but to go back to their base with them. And who is the big daddy that the Alliance of Evil all call Master, who's running the show behind the scenes? Well, it's none other than Apocalypse himself in Sabanur. Yes, folks, this is X Factor number 5, and we've already been introduced to numerous new mutants, but Bob Layton and Jackson Guise have delivered a masterpiece, folks, by introducing us to the X-Men and the mutants' most powerful villain, Apocalypse. So everyone, please give this issue a thumbs up and a like for the introduction of Apocalypse, and just say no to drugs, okay?